when you go on new creative journeys, it is exciting for people to appreciate that.
Yeah.
Especially if people, you know, didn't think that it was possible. Like when I started off in Chicago as an artist, I'm a visual artist. Like I went to art school.
Right.
And I decided to start doing music, and people said it wouldn't work out.
Doing love to my man Kanye West coming from Chi-Town. Kanye played us some remarkable shit as usual.
I started producing and selling beats, and I started selling beats to Jay-Z, Rockefeller, and that started going well. And I said I wanted to rap, and people said that wasn't gonna work. They had this term, producer rapper.
But I'm attempting to do something else, something with the rapping shit.
It basically meant you wouldn't rap as good as the real rappers. And, you know, that started working out. Then I said I wanted to design clothes. And then that started working out.
What's the next? What is next for you?
Well...
Space Force? You should...
I would totally be involved. Just place a thought out there that everyone's not thinking sometimes. Galileo, they want to chop his head off for saying that the Earth, what do you say, the sun revolved around the Earth,
right?
Vice versa. You know, so when you have modern,
but the sun,
futuristic, I'm not concerned about the specifics, sir.
Right. Do you ever regret anything you say, or is it just like you just look at it like, hey, I put it out there, it's out there, there's no point in regretting it?
I think people focus too much on the past and focus too much on regret. Even like when you deal with schools, like you take like the slave idea. My point is, I've heard of history class. I've never heard of a class that breaks down how you balance a checkbook or how you control your finances, which my father never taught me that. And I've never heard of a future class. So they keep us so focused on history that we start to believe that it actually repeats itself. And we become overly traditional, and we can't advance as a race of beings. We get too caught up in the past and what everyone's saying and what everyone's tweeting. And sometimes you just have to be fearless enough to break the simulation. And when I mean simulation, this is what I mean by the simulation. Sorry, I know you guys wanted to clap, but everything I'm gonna say is gonna be amazing. Here's the idea why you're in a simulation. Let's start with acting, first of all. And a 2-year-old screams at a restaurant, the entire restaurant screams, teach that kid how to act. We're all unpaid actors in some giant script that we didn't write. Simulation, a 2-year-old jumps on a coffee table and someone says, that's a coffee table, don't jump on that. So it went from being something that makes him feel like Superman, he's got his cape on, to something where he has to think about this person's like a family member he doesn't like anyway. He's 2 years old, he doesn't give a about a coffee or a table. And he's starting to like calculate all these things. And by the time you're 40 years old, you've got a wall full of coffee tables calculating you into traffic, calculating you into your career choice, calculating you into this townhouse that's not quite as big as the townhouse next, and it just never works. You know, that's the simulation that I'm talking. That's what I mean when I say simulation.
I think I understand what you're saying, but I might not. But also, you know, maybe people don't want the kid to get hurt jumping on the coffee table, you know, and...
We are too protective. We always don't want someone to get hurt. Can you imagine me talking to my publicist before I said I'm going on TV again? Like, I'm going on...
You should be wearing a helmet.
I'm going on TV because it's awesome. Like,
Can you believe it?
I can believe it the way you are. Somebody gotta do it. You play tracks like Michael Jordan shoots free throws. Anybody does something that much and that long and is that good, it's gotta pay off. Can't go there and do nothing but blow up.
Yeah.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
The main thing is getting to do something that you really love to do. Right. But you know what, I was thinking about something I was going to say to you, Kanye, that I thought was important. How you were down to earth and everything, but you know you got a lot of confidence. Come off a little arrogant even though you're humble and everything. But it'd be important to remember that the giant looks in the mirror and sees nothing. You know what I mean?
So do you think I come off too arrogant?
No, come off just right. It's because it's what's inside. Because you can't be a star and not be a star. You gotta have some oomph about you. You don't want to just go saying, "Oh, I'm just really not all that," but thank you anyway. Nothing like that. I'm not saying come off like that. I think the way you are handle yourself is really just perfect. But at the same time, if you remember, like, to stay on the ground, and you can be in the air all at the same time. That's what I think it means when it says the giant looks in the mirror and sees nothing. Everybody else sees the giant. You know what I mean?
Right.
No more. And I talk to these heads, you know what I'm saying? These like older dudes that run companies. And it's hilarious to me. I only listen to people who are younger than me. These are the only people with ideas. You cannot give me any advice. You can help me. You can support Donda. You can cut a check. You can help me build some infrastructure. But I have the ideas. No one older than me has a better idea than me because I'm the only 36-year-old me.
What do you hope your legacy is?
To be forgotten.
You think you'll be forgotten?
Because the memory, there's ego in memory, in the memories. Who designed the sidewalk? Who designed the water fountain? Who designed the stop sign? Who designed the stoplight? These things are so ubiquitous that the person that designed them is forgotten. If it's a good idea, it's a God idea. And no VCs can own it.
One of the things that when anybody ever talks
Yeah.
about you to me, they say, well, he's all over the place. And I say, I think that he's got a different power source. Like if you look at the way everybody interfaces with the world, if there's a universal power, most people have like a 20-watt charger. The way I describe you, I say, I think that motherfucker's got like a 150-watt charger. And these ideas are just coming at him. So you do go on these rants that sometimes need to be dissected into individual things. But overall, you're incredibly productive. So my question is, why do people think there's something wrong with you?
Yeah.
But I legitimately, like, you've been medicated. They've put you away, right? They've brought you to how did that happen?
Well, I'll say these two things. I think very three-dimensionally. I don't think in the black and white lines that I've been programmed to think in. And I think in full color. So when I talk, I have to describe a thought in 5 ways. You know, we enjoy food that has multiple seasoning in it. We enjoy music that has multiple instruments. So when I talk, it's not a rant, it's a symphony of ideas. And when you collect them, you say, oh, these are all these things that connect. Yeah, you know, I just tell the truth. And telling the truth is crazy in a world full of lies. You know, a lot of people they want to call me crazy. It's like running a marathon. If I got some shorts on and a tank top and I'm sweating hard as hell, running down a street, running the wrong way down a freeway, then you're gonna say that person is crazy. But if 100 other people do it with me, then it's a marathon.
That's a good way to put it.
Killed that.
Yeah.
Killed that.
So some of the stuff, I'm the first person that's saying it.
Right.
Or Candace Owens is the first person that's saying it.
Right.
Then another person sees it and say, I kind of feel you. Floyd Mayweather might say, oh, I feel you. And then Steve Harvey might say, I feel where you're coming from.
Part of the reason why I even thought about or considered doing this this recording, like what do you call it, this interview? This interview is because of the movie The Incredibles. Why? It starts off with the interviews. The superheroes are giving interviews. The wife got a big butt, and I just see our life becoming more and more and more like The Incredibles until we can finally fly.
You would.